National assessments commenced yesterday. Now, this follows after 5 teacher trade unions that include SADTU, NAPTOSA and NATU objected to ANA's saying the 400,000 of its members will not administer the tests in their current format and asked that they be remodeled. However, the Department of Education stands firm that the tests will be administered. So let's chat to Elijah Mhlanga, who is the Department of Basic Education and spokesperson and National Teacher Union's Deputy President, Alan Thompson. Good to have both of you. Welcome to the program. So the ANAs were due to start yesterday, but unions say they are not going to administer them. What measures are put in place to oversee the tests are administered? Should we start with the Basic Education Department? Would you like to talk about that?
Yes, the ANA started yesterday and they were administered, and it was teachers who were doing the work, and we were happy with that.
You were happy with that. From the union's perspective?
Well, we were disappointed that the department decided to go ahead, but we can report that the vast majority of teachers, they've decided not to be part of this. We have seen incidents where the department used learners to invigilate other learners, which is an insult to the education system and is a clear embarrassment of our own system. We are so disappointed in a manner they've decided to treat the issue of annual national assessment.
Yeah. For teachers that say that they don't want to administer the test, they don't want to go through this, what disciplinary action will be taken?
No, we're not talking about discipline just yet. We trust that our teachers will administer ANA because we gave them any day between yesterday and the 4th of December, and we still believe that even those that have not administered it yet, they will get around to doing so, because we understand that schools are still busy with other things like exams, for example. We say they must make time to accommodate ANA any day between yesterday and the 4th of December, which is next week Friday.
Okay, so you can hear the department is not moving, they're not changing on this, and it's going to be happening. So are teachers adamant that they're not going to administer?
Well, in fact, it's not necessarily that teachers do not want, but the problem is timing. During this part of the year, what we do, we are busy with reports, schedules, completing marking of the scripts. We've been writing the end of the year examination. Some of the schools are getting ready to sort of receive those who will be coming to the marking centers. It's time that is not available. And secondly, we have indicated that we want a new kind of a national assessment, which is going to take care of the need. We have been assessing since 2011, and there's nothing that has been done. We want intervention program. We want strategies on how to assist learners to pass, on how to assist teachers to make better teaching in the classroom. But unfortunately, the department is just want a business transaction. That is why we are very suspicious that there is an element of a business transaction in this. It's not about education, but it's about making sure that those who have been paid to get a tender, perhaps they are not disappointed in the long run.
Okay, Elijah, we need a comment from you on that.
No, that's not correct. I mean, when you do research, you will need to verify the data and analyze the data that you have. As part of that process, we need to contract a company that does the work. We do that every year. In fact, the name of that company has been put on the website, and if people feel that there was something that we've done that's wrong, they should be free to come to the department, request information. We'll give it to them because the process was audited. So that one is a matter that we've dealt with. But we have used ANA for many things, including the implementation of a 1+4 model, which we use to train teachers to improve their teaching skills around maths, science and technology. We have also given teachers about 20 million rand annually to make sure that they go for training, because we understand that ANA tells us as well that there are problems in the classroom in terms of the teaching levels, and we have used ANA to make those improvements. We also established a maths and science and technology unit at the Department of Basic Education, which is something that we didn't have before, and we got around to doing that because ANA told us that there was a need to do that.
Let's just talk about the timing of this, and we can rightly understand the pressure that teachers are under at this time that Alan did refer to. I mean, it's the end of the year, exams have been going, marking is underway, schools are about to break up right now. I mean, it's a very, very stressful time for teachers. Why now? Why is this the timing of them?
Remember, we wanted to do this in September, and the union said that they can't do it. And we had to go through a mediation process. 13 meetings later, we're still not able to agree. In fact, fact, we agreed on something, but we couldn't sign it. That's why we are saying to schools, make time between the 26th of November and the 4th of December to write ANA. And yesterday, there were schools that were able to accommodate ANA, and they are done. Other schools are telling us that they will be readjusting their timetables to ensure that ANA is done before the 4th of December. We understand that they are doing other things. That's why we say, just do the tests, we'll mark early next year.
Yeah. I mean, what's your reaction to that, Alan? I mean, there are some schools. I mean, for instance, in the Free State, for one of them, is one of the provinces where some schools, they went ahead, they wrote the tests. I mean, how do you feel about those schools?
Well, the level of intimidation is very high. We know some of the teachers were phoned to come to the circuit office and collect papers. If they don't want, they must come and collect their letters of dismissal. The Department of Education decided to go all alone. They left us in the mediation process. They decided to collapse mediation without telling us. We thought that they were still consulting. We saw them circulating information that they would be writing ANA. Very next day, Leon, this is what is important. Learners are not at school. Most of the schools, once learners complete the end of the examination, they leave and go home. They will only come to resubmit the books that have been given to them by the school. So what they are just doing, I think it's just a public stance of pretending as if there is something happening in the schools, except that only 2 or 3 schools are affected. Now, if only few of the South African schools are writing, it shows that they are not interested on the vast majority of the schools, because we are saying we want to write this, we want to administer this, but we need it to be at a better level that can assist our education system to go forward. They are the ones who firstly pronounced to all teachers, to the South Africans, that we will be writing ANA next day in February. We committed ourselves. We said we want to work day and night just to make sure that there is a new structure of a national assessment. We want, they is claiming of 20 million. They are using 200 million for just writing examination, which there is no intervention program once they've identified weaknesses. What is 200 million compared to 20 million for development? It shows that this is just a clear business transaction, which is something that should not be encouraged. We are so worried about the level of education system. That is why we said, let's not use 200 million, but let's use that 200 million to empower educators. Let's equip our school. Let's make life very easy. Let's increase the number of teachers so that at least we know there's effective teaching and learning in our school. But unfortunately, that thing is not being heard by the department. They've decided to go alone. And we are saying we are yet to see an education system that will be progressive without educators. We are disappointed.
Elijah, 200 million rand?
Yes, it's a big exercise. We had 8 million learners, so we had to print millions of scripts. In fact, over 10 million scripts that must be printed and distributed across all our schools. It costs money. That's why we feel, after having spent so much money this year, you cannot just throw all those scripts away, because that will be wasteful expenditure. Something that the AG was talking about 2 days ago in his report. We don't want to find ourselves in that situation. That's why we say ANA must be written. Yes, we are working with the unions to remodel it, and we agree on that.
Sure. All right. Well, you're adamant it's not going to be happening from the union's perspective. The problem is that the pupils get stuck in the middle. And what?
Well, the fortunate part is that we have started a process of informing parents that they must not worry. This ANA, it does not serve any purpose. We've been writing this ANA since 2011. And we can't quote that these are the good things that have provided after we've done an assessment. It's just a time wasting. It's an intention of frustrating educators. And it's unfortunate because once educators are demoralized, obviously the future of our children will be doomed, and that's not what we want.
All right, gentlemen, let's leave it there. Elijah Mhlanga, spokesperson for basic education, and Alan Thompson, the acting president of NATU. Have a look at the question. You've been seeing it on the screen. We'd love to hear from you as well. Join in the conversation. Do you agree with the annual national assessments for teachers? If so, why? And if not, why not? We'd love to hear from you. Please do SMS us. The details are on the screen, and you can also tweet us on this issue. So that SMS line, of course, 33726, and the SMS will cost you R1.50. Do you agree with the annual assessments of teachers?